our college life, like we used to have 17 subjects. Nowadays, there are no such kind of 17 subjects kind of a schedule.
In just one semester.
In one semester, yes. So we used to, have a kind of a clash between seniors asking for some extracurriculum activity and then the course, 17 course going in the during the academics which we have to submit. And also we have learned a lot from our seniors in a way that there used to be a paper making workshop, like if you had heard of Kudla Work Design Forum that happens in SEP University. So we used to make folders out of paper mache, and so that becomes like a souvenir for the guest coming in, and also becomes a workshop that was conducted by our seniors. Then I remember making a clay workshop roof, metal roof by ourselves, and casting gutter module that for the construction of actual clay workshop. That was also with the seniors. So building construction design detail would be utilized when we are doing some activity with the seniors. And there was also very much enthusiasm about posters, wall posters that used to go on the wall, like double volume walls and things like that. And the most happening part that I remember was Navratri, where every student would come up with their own design modules, and there used to be an exhibition of lamps that after that they'll be selected out of uh, council will select it, and then it goes into the mass production of where, and according to the design a lamp, it would be decided that where this installation would go in the campus. It was not like you select the place first and then the lamps goes over there, but it was more like first prepare the idea about the lamps and the installation, and then council will come up with a place where exactly it could be located on the campus. So every year we used to have that. And I remember having activity of tree plantation in our campus. So I remember that particularly because we were guiding our juniors for taking plants from the front gate to the campus inside, and they thought that we are kind of ragging them or something like that. And we had a complaint against us that okay, our seniors are like pulling our legs and they are making us do things which we used to do very happily, and suddenly when that came up it was like a very big thing for us, and we were in third year at that time. And so for that third year, when our senior, when we were in first year, they came to the campus and we had like a silent protest kind of a thing in the campus. So the beautiful part of previous sept, I would say, was about protest. Like you can outrightly put out your words about discomfort that you are feeling. So which later on we had to take permissions for that. If we want to do any installation, we have to go through the permission that through the admins. Like there are different hierarchy that it goes through. Previously, it was like, अच्छा ये बनाना है तो हमने बना दिया होता था. We didn't have to take permission for that. So I think also beautiful thing about SEP campus then was we had library, common library between NID, IIM and SEP. So SEP student can go to IIM library, IIM library people could come to SEP, and NID, we can also go to NID library. So we had a great resource of library books that we have gone through. So being a bookworm like a person, I would refer to all the libraries, and that was like pleasant thing back then. But now they are separate, and I think back then it was also open campus, so anybody could enter the SEP University, and we could also go to IIM. We can also go to NID, but nowadays there is a lot of security to enter any of the campus, let be it IIM, NID or SEPT. Even Kanoria is now isolated among the SEPT campus itself. So Kanoria used to be our extension of a studio where we used to make printmaking class used to happen in Kanoria Art Center. So everything was quite woven, like the fabric of Sept was quite woven in terms of uh, the work that we were doing in the academics versus the non-academic part where printmaking was happening at the Kanoria Art Center. And then the artists who used to work late night in Kanoria Art Center, they were also friendly and they would, take help from us for a few things, and that's how we have learned few techniques of lithography and etching and linocut prints and things like that. So that exposure, I would say that I would have not got if it was not that open kind of a campus. I think you are also blessed with the this kind of a campus where you have fine arts and things like that. So you can always go to the other academics. Yeah.
It is quite same here also that sometimes we feel that the seniors are doing ragging, but in the end we get to learn so
Learn
much from
something,
them.
yes.
The experiences you are sharing are relatable to us, right?
Did it happen to you
When we
also?
were juniors, we felt like we are being ragged, they are pulling our leg, and now we understand. Now we are trying to do the same with our juniors. And they feel the same. The cycle goes on.
The cycle goes on, yes.
No, but in the process we make the memories. So on the very second day, we were made to clean that pond. The responsibility to clean the pond is of first unit, right?
Uh,
But in that process,
that kind of sense of ownership is there, no? Then with the campus that you have cleaned your own thing, so it's
Doing it for first time feels like a punishment because, and then we get attached to it, so it becomes a routine.
right.
we enjoy that. Yes.
And it also becomes the ice breaking session. As what I personally experienced is that I didn't know the names of my classmates very well on the second day or third day.
Yeah.
But once we did this activity together, we
You get to
knew
know each other.
everything
Yes.
about each other.
Yeah, right. So we had one exercise that was a caricature night. So every person in our senior would be given some name. So they were not called by their own name, but they would have a different kind of a names. And then they would give us a name which is not relatable, and you have to go and find out that which person is named that. And so sometimes what they would do is they would not accept that they are tagged by that name. So you go in the circles that okay, this person is not the person that I have to do the caricature of. So that takes like a week, and that's how the interaction with the seniors happens. And after second week, we have to mimic the senior that we are given caricature of with a mask made with eyes and the caricature mask that replicates and mimic the other person. So that was also a great exercise for a kind of interaction. That's quite. And also it has to be approved. The mask has to be approved by the senior, yes. And then when you mimic in front of entire audience of a entire batch, there is a pass, fail, and repeat. So whether they recognize that this is the same acting of the senior person or not, and if they cannot recognize, they will right away say fail. Or if they could recognize something, then they would say repeat. And if they recognize the exact name, then it's a pass. So it was a so in first year you are also afraid of standing in front of seniors and the large audience that comes across the that this used to happen in the double basement, double volume height. So yeah, we have a pretty good memories with the double height volume over there. Also the North Lawns, like our class used to be in North Lawns or sometimes amphitheater near the canteen. So we hardly had any classrooms in the class itself. So it would always happen in the open campus. So under the tree or something like that. So we were also made to sit in the sun to sketch the sunlight, like how harsh it is in the morning and how harsh it gets into the afternoon and how. So you keep sketching with the charcoal and you realize that okay, heat is how scorched it is getting. So things exercise like that make you value the sun path diagrams, and when you design you know that you have to take care of sunlight, and it's quite difficult to sit in the heat like for like 1 to 2 hours sketching and like looking at the sun.
So you get to know about the
Climate, yes,
of the
exactly.
area you're studying.
Studying, exactly. Was about uh, photographing an object. So you select an object, you have to make 100 sketches from morning to evening, study the light of the shadows and light of that object, and you have to select one frame which is like which creates the right kind of the shadow and light to document the object. So next day you click the same frame with your camera and then you see the result about. So that's how like when I see architecture photography coming up, as a kind of trend that has come, like every project has to be documented. And so sometimes few photographs you will see that it is kind of a flat, and it does not have that kind of response to the light and the shadows that to be studied. So I think there's also a huge disconnect in photography and architecture, right? Like in the real time that we are seeing the photographs. It's only about clicking a photo and putting it on the publication. It should not be like that. Like it should be more meaningful kind of a photography for presenting architecture studies that you have done, rather than just styling the one place and getting it documented for the publication. You are not actually documenting it for the studying of the architecture spaces. So yeah, I do feel that there's a huge lag over there. Do you have like photography subject?
We have electives
Hmm.
in six
6 semesters. Okay, okay, nice.
It is a new course, so
Okay,
they were the first batch to have this.
okay,
They are our seniors.
okay. So how was the elective for you guys? Okay, 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 okay. So were you given time to study your camera first, or yes? Hmm. Oh, interesting. Also, since every person would have a different camera, so the exercise that we were given was to take uh, to make a collage, like a contact sheet kind of a thing for photography, where you explore each and every feature of your camera. And let's say if there is an ISO part of it, then you explore ISO from 0 to 1600, and you take same frame in the different ISO and the exposure limits, and then you have to make a contact sheet out of it, and that's how you know your equipment, like your camera. So it was an exercise to understand the tool that we are using for documenting anything. So it was a nice exercise then. I think we had great subjects and electives in our college life. So yeah,
So, who were your best teachers in college?
teachers. Okay. I would start from first year where we had Mickey Desai and Walter D'Souza and Pratyush Sankar was there. So I think those were the best mentors we had for the first year where you know we were made to sketch lanterns for like I don't even remember how many times, but we started from taking hours and hours to sketch a lantern, and then we were given time limits of like 5 minutes, then comes 5 seconds, and like how quick you are trying to abstract the form of it. So for entire semester we had like just sketching the lantern and the deconstructing the entire object. And uh, and they used to be like they used to ask our marks from 12th standard, and we used to write that thing out on the center of the sheet. And and then we were made to hold that particular thing, and other person will come and tear it off. So that's how you are not nothing right now. You are starting from scratch, and you don't belong to any of such marks or anything like that. So right now we are all equal at the first semester, and that's how they used to have different tricks for starting any lecture. And uh, also we were given letters from different language, and we used to develop a patterns out of taking one square and moving that square in along the object and developing it into multifolds kind of thing. And since we had Walter sir, he used to be the one who would say anything he wants to and be abusive about anything, and you would feel like where are we, like seniors are also using that kind of a language, and even our teachers are using that kind of a language. So that used to be like but afterwards we realized that how apt way of learning that was, because when we came into fourth year, when we were seeing our first years, learning things, and they didn't have Mickey Desai, they didn't have Walter sir, we were feeling really bad about them, like why they don't have a same faculty as we had. So I think Mickey sir also used to be very he would come very gently to your desk and tear sheet off. Like you would not even realize what just happened, but it will just happen in front of you. And the same thing used to be with AGT. You must be having AGT, right? Architecture. Yes, yes. Okay. So in that, we used to in first year we are like, if we are from the outside we would go to home whenever the weekend would come. So most of us were from outside, so we used to go home and then we used to draft few sheets which was not using parallel but using the engineering tools, T scale and things like that. And it would look really same with the other people who would have draft on the parallel and set square, but our faculty would come and raise the sheet like that, and they would be like, "Hey, parallel bar se और t square से नहीं draft हुआ है, t square से draft हुआ है." So he would just tear it off, and we have to do entire model redo of it. And then I remember in AGT we were supposed to make a perfect cube with the what to say, surface development, yes. And and we had made multiple cubes to just get the right perfect cube out of that particular elective. So I think every teacher had a different way of teaching, and I think it was all adorable right now. It is adorable right now, yes.
Till last year we had Madhu Gupta, who was the same faculty.
Oh, he used to teach at SEPTA also, metal workshop. Yes, yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
This is where he used to sit.
Oh, nice. There, okay.
First, we were all very scared of him, but then we became very fond of him.
Same. So same story.
Now we feel bad for us juniors so that they didn't get to learn
Exposure from
Yeah.
him, yeah, yeah. But you can always do the same exercise with the juniors, no? You can take the responsibility of doing the same exercise.
You can ask our juniors, they want
Acha, okay.
I had a question.
Yes.
You look so young. So what was your journey from working from 9 to 6 to starting your own firm? Like with your friends?
Okay. So basically, there's this kind of group that happens in the class that we are comfortable working with, and we used to help each other in making models, final models, and final examinations and things like that. So there's this bond that develops during the college itself, and then we went to explore our own path for like 1.5 year. I used to work with Arya Architects for like 1.5 year, and thinking of, okay, what else should I be doing and what are the ideas. And so you go to your close friends for discussing those kind of ideas that acha ye karna hai, like this is not something that I am interested in, like I want to do more about Anganwadi schools and do more competitions and build through the competitions where it is more like you go to the projects won't come to you. So that kind of idea was there, and it was brewing somewhere in my mind, and I used to discuss that with Malay Doshi and Kavisha and all of them. So suddenly one day Malay had an idea about like what if the platform that he had of their parents that could become a platform for all of us, and we try exploring different paths like foundation urbanism. We had uh, there was a material lab kind of foundation lab, urbanism and architecture. So we all took our lead in that particular subdivision of a practice after 1.5 year of working wherever we were, and we came back to what we would like to do and explore. So foundation, I would especially talk about foundation that I was leading at that time. So foundation used to be more of pitching an idea about kid-friendly spaces to the different NGOs and things like that. Then you would realize that NGO are not the right person to approach them. So that took around 6 months or of a time. Then you have to sustain yourself up with the money also, because you are growing and you have to sustain yourself also. So foundation was not making money. So how to make money and then sustain that particular streamline. So then we started doing competitions. So competition with the aim that we have to win the competition so that we get money out of it, and that's how I can sustain myself. If I don't win, then there is no funds for running the practice. So that's how it went for 1 year or so, and we did many competitions and we did many approached many NGOs, and after 1 year of doing all that, I got fellowship from Doshi Vinod. So that helped me for another 6 months to sustain by myself and do the research work and go to the slums and have interactive sessions with them. And the period that I got was 6 months, and 6 months are not enough to have a community bond kind of a thing and make them believe that what you are proposing in community is something which will flourish in the years and it will support their community. So it is still going on. That process is still going on. So every Saturday or Sunday, it's either of that. On every 15 after every 15 days, Saturday or Sunday, I go to slum and I have some kind of interactive session with them. And someday I'm hoping that I'll have a community that would believe in me and I'll be able to convert one particular space where we are mostly playing or learning something and converting that space into kid friendly space as a pilot study for like AMC or something like that. So that was a journey of foundation that is still going on. But apart from that, since I was not able to sustain myself, I had started doing a project which are commercial projects, which can be any project, any architecture project. I started doing it because it was not possible to just do that kind of a practice, but I will have to sustain myself. So, but luckily I got few project which was a school project, and developing one courtyard of a school, developing terraces for kid friendly apartment. And so that happened because I used to talk a lot about kid friendly cities to many people, and the right aim is that only, but I'm doing other work also. But the main aim is to somewhere someday to have a more more amount of project out there with the kid friendly cities, which tends to be a kid friendly cities. So that was the journey that, so I'll show you that in the presentation also. In the lab we had a curve of like starting with very illusionist kind of a practice where every parametric structure we used to experiment with. We used to experiment with the materials and things like that. And so the person Neil Jain was lead for the lab, Saransh lab. So he used to experiment with the 3D models, 3D printed models, and parametrics and things like that. So we were lucky in that segment also that we got one project to do, which was KBM. Oh, thank you. Which was a sweet shop KBM with a brick facade with a curvilinear surface to that. So that also became a part of it. But eventually, when he realized that this is not something that I want to do, so he just backed off from the partnership that we had, and he started doing his work as a consultant. So if I'm working on some project and I need a help in parametrics, I would go to him. But he's not part of the office anymore, but yeah, but still there. So he is more into academics, and so he is right now teaching at SEP University and like full-time faculty in SEP University. So this was not meant for him, so he backed off. So from the 6 people that we started, we are still 6 people, but with different name of a people. But we still believe in working collaboratively because whenever we are doing something, we always used to discuss in studio, right? We always there's some discussion happening with the friends over here. So the same thing happens in studio as well. So it feels like a studio and it does not feel like office to have someone from your own batch and your friends surrounding you and having that kind of a collaboration practice. So yeah, that was the journey that we had, and we are still enjoying that journey. And every time we meet, like every Wednesday, we meet for like what had happened in the last week, and we would discuss that. So every time we always question that what our practice is doing and where it is going. Sometimes we don't have answers to it, and some meetings would have an answer to it, and that answer is still changing and evolving every meeting that we would have. And we would have a really bad kind of a fight for like, okay, we don't want to do this, why are we doing this, and we should never be doing that. And again something would happen, like small projects which does not sustain your office, but you are just attached to few projects that you would end up taking the projects. And then in the next meeting next week we would be discussing why did you take that project, things like that. We decided that we are not going to do small projects, and how come we are doing the same thing again. The same decision was taken that we won't be doing any any project of known friends or things like that, because it's very difficult to work with known families and friends. So but we end up doing the same thing again and again, that okay, एक बार ही कर लेते हैं, बाद में नहीं करेंगे, एक बार ही कर लेते हैं, बाद में नहीं करेंगे, but there is this loop that goes on. So yeah, there are different kind of, and you can be truthful to each other, that's the transparency is there in the practice, that helps in the collaboration. So I think collaborative practices are good way of working. And you can take many projects. Like even if I am not working on 50 projects, but my firm is working on 50 projects, it feels like 50 projects, like where everything is going. You don't have to work by yourself to work at 50 projects. But there will be always discussion happening about all 50 projects. So that's nice to have 50 projects under one roof and collaborative practice. So that's how we started, and that aim is going well.
Just like our studios.
Yeah, that's just like our studios.
So this is a very straightforward question, but how do you decode the competitions?
Mm, Initially, when we were doing competitions, we were focusing more on the presentation techniques, like how a final presentation has to be and the final outcome has to be. But eventually we realized that we don't want to focus on just the final outcome, but we want to focus on the exploration that our practice is doing. So the focus had moved to the exploration part rather than just the final outcome of representation. Yes. So first competition that we did, we had like very long time for the representation and things like that. That was a riverfront. There was some proposal adjacent to the riverfront that we had given. So there we focused on representation, and the exploration was not done that much. But then eventually we have started exploring. So when it came to the third or fourth competition that we were doing, uh, we actually had the competition was based in Russia, Moscow. So we went to a friend of friend that was living over there. We started doing a questionnaire and we started collecting the answers. And that project was about housing a young generation, young generational housing. So there our aim was not just to participate in particular, but develop a model which is for a young generation and which could be proposed to the builder, which are with which we are working right now currently. So the focus of competition was shifting. So now the focus is always exploration, and the focus is, so if I say what is the focus right now behind doing a competition, it is it is more like we don't want to do hypothetical competition, but we want to do competition which would have a built form, like it should go in actual form. So right now we are focusing on competition which would be constructed, like which goes into construction.
If they could submit it, they can be made it.
Yeah, yes. So that kind of a brief we are looking for right now. So those kind of. We also tried doing government tender projects where we had to right away submit a proposal and then it would be going through the selection process. So competition has a very vast kind of area that right now in the competition that I started working was in from the pre-final year. So there was that interest developed in the pre-final, that okay, competition karna hai and you want to be going. So aim over there was to go to the other university to get the exposure from other university. The aim was not winning or nothing like that, but just to go to visit. There was a national school of university in Singapore. So NSU was there. So competition was held by them, and they were selecting few proposals from India. So that's how the first competition that I did was with the intention of getting exposure from, yes, collaborate with the other university. So I think every competition had a different idea behind doing the competition. So once it was just as I mentioned that it was about winning the competition and bringing the funds to the company
To sustain the
to
bond.
sustain the farm. Yes, it's difficult because now we have realized that it's not the studio or it's not the design practice that we professional practice that we study in our college, but it's more like business running that goes into it. So we are not taught any of that skills, no business skills. Like never we are taught the administrative work that goes into the office. Like if I say out of an entire week 70% goes into the running the business and 30% goes into the designing part of it. So I think I don't know if it should be introduced to the curriculum, but it should be somewhere like administrative kind of business kind of mentality should be engraved in students. Like it should not business schools, yes. So that's what the realization is from the working with Arya sir, then working on your own, and then working on all commercial projects. And right now, this is what the idea is.
So it's like FSI, the administration part is the FSI in designing a housing thing.
Yeah, not really. Like FSI is there, but apart from that, you have so much to deal with the builders itself. So to get the money on time is something that we are chasing, no? We are not chasing at the proposal. We know that we'll be making a proposal. We do know that we'll be giving good drawings, good spaces, design. We are confident about that. But we are not confident about chasing a client to give the money at the right time and such that we can depart the money to the generation which is working with us, in our team. So senior architect needs to be paid. We are always worried about that. Okay, senior architect को कि कब कैसे पैसा मिलेगा. So those kind of a business strategy has to be there. Otherwise, you are lost in the market. And every month you have to be. अगर ये month का पैसा आया तो that is for the after 3 months. So you have to run your business pre 3 months. Like you have to plan your things. So that is a entire different ball game that we are into, that to running a practice. And there is so much of back end support goes into, because software का खर्चा रहता है, then there is a खर्चा of office boy, everything had some money going into it. So if we calculate back and forths and back and words that goes into the practice, it is something that makes us question that, oh, this much amount goes every month. So that is something that has to stagnantly come to the office. So that kind of a business I'm talking about, like administrative work that goes into it. And also keeping track of leaves, keeping track of people coming daily on time or not. So there's so much more than just designing the building. It's much more than that.
Like we need all the courses in our curriculum.
Yes, yes.
The start of practice.
Start a practice, yes. So even professional practice would not do the justice to the actual professional practice that we will be doing in future. So what we were taught that professional practice was about going to some studio practice and asking them a question like how do they work, how do they function. We would get those kind of insights. Of course, that is helpful, but apart from that, there is a lot more about business ideas and business strategies that goes in running a practice.
We are always said that the outer world is way too different than the bachelor.
That yeah, exactly. But so the only worry part about me is that if business is getting introduced to the curriculum, we might not explore it the way we are exploring it right now. Like right now, we don't have any discipline that barriers that yes restrictions that we would have. but at least somewhere in the after internship or something like that, it should be introduced somewhere. Not in the initial stages, because initial stages are about exploration and things. So, but somewhere it should be there. And it's also about, it's not just the collaboration within the studio that we would have, but it is also about collaboration that we had at a site, that we have with the 3D artists who would be working for our visualizations and things like that. So there are many such components which is attached to the company. It's not just you as an architect or designer and the practice is running well, but it is much more than that. So you work with a different consultant. You have to pay them also. So there's always a business which goes behind, running a practice. You were saying something.
I was saying that even how to bring the clients in, that is also.
Yeah, that is also like exactly, because we have been struggling that initially there were only two people working behind the practice, Manish and Malini. So it was fine to sustain them. But then the addition of Malay Doshi had happened, and then there has to be more funds, because now there are three people in the firm and three people earning out of it. So the bubble has to increase. And after that we are six people now. So bubble has to even more increase such that six people earn well. So now the entire idea about, so business running is, as you mentioned, that how do we get the new projects, right? So that's why we have to follow Instagram also. Like we have to maintain our Instagram profile such that the client would see and some project or generation would come to our office. And recently, what we have started doing is that we have developed, six people are thinking of developing their own website, so that even there is a more kind of a marketing that happens, like of individual work, and from individual also there is a more generative inquiry that happens. So for handling Instagram also you need to take out some time. So that 70% that I'm talking about, that goes into all this kind of things.
When the interns come, new interns come, how do you mold them? Like they are new to the whole.
Yeah. So there are different kind of interns that comes to the office, and the first day is about just seeing them how much they are enthusiastic about working. So first day I don't give any work. I would see that, okay, who is coming to me and asking like, मुझे कुछ काम करना है, things like that. Enthusiasm has to be there. So first attachment would happen at that point, and secondly, when some work is given to them, and particularly looking at like what kind of software they are. So portfolio would mention few software that they have worked upon and they are good at. So I would start giving them a work which is appropriate to those software, and seeing that what they are writing in their portfolio is correct or not, or it's somebody's borrowed work that they are putting on a portfolio, so that has to be checked. So first week is all about assessment of intern, and then eventually they are given actual work which will go into execution. So the weightage of that work is a lot more than just assessment part. So that happens with the senior architect, and me being present and giving and involving the intern in the meetings that we had for a discussion or any drawing that I'm explaining it to the senior architect. Intern has to be present over there. So what happens that if senior architect is working on many projects and he or she needs help, then intern is aware about project, what actually is going into the project, and I don't have to explain again. So they already know about what kind of work that they are going to do. So that's how senior architect is easily able to relay the work that goes to the intern, and we never limit our interns to just doing drawings, working drawings, but even the conceptual stages also they are involved. Even if the concept is happening, most of the time it's like a competition. Like everyone has to design, and then we'll discuss all the proposals to it, and then we will kind of come up with one proposal. And if any architect in the team is able to do good proposal, then we try them to push to present also that proposal, same proposal they have to present also. So that happens. And so I think by the end of the internship, they should be confident about what they are working or what they are delivering. So sometimes what I do is I will take them to site also. There is one small drawing that they have prepared, but they have to explain it to the carpenter. I won't be interrupting or standing. I will be just listening to what and how it is being conveyed. So that intern knows the value of the drawing that they are making, value of line that they are drafting, and that's how they are confident about the work and they feel more responsible and they want to do more. So that's how the entire internship period is divided and the progress is like. So you will be going for internship, no? Next batch?
Next to next.
Next time, okay. Acha, okay.
They will be going for the
Next time.
last round will be nice, but then it's what on the rest.
Okay. Okay. Eighth semester. Right, right. Hmm. Studio. Okay. Studio Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. Because of that studio, people have started coming on time. People wants to come to the studio. Yeah. Yeah. Rain chains. Nice. In monsoon, the studio is like heavenly place over there. And every day we are exploring new creatures coming in, like crawling somewhere, and every day we would have new insects, new birds coming in, and we are enjoying our place. Yes. Grass, yes. Thank you. So even there we had like we don't have a good landscape consultant that we are still not able to find a good landscape consultant. So the landscape was done by us. So what so I am a plant lover, so I would go to nursery. Malay would explain the nature of plant and the nature of plant I would understand and I'll go to nursery and find the name like okay this kind of a nature of plant has to come here. So it was also form and design for landscape also for us. So horticulturist was there, but we didn't have a landscape consultant. So the landscape that you see was also experimental thing that we did for the project. Thank you.
So how did you decide to get into architecture?
Okay. uh, my nana is a civil engineer, and when I was completing my 12th standard, so there are few brochures that would be there in the schools where different faculties, like not just engineering but NIDs. Few people have gone to NID, few people have gone to CEPT University. So that kind of triggered something like, okay, there's something new which is happening, which is not just engineering that goes into. So there are different colleges and different fraternity apart from engineering. So during that process, I explored that I want to go to NID first, and it was in February or March kind of time. So NID exams has already gone. So that chapter was over, that I can't go to NID, but I still have a SEPT opportunity that I could go to. But my parents were not, in favor of me taking architecture. They wanted me to go to Nirma University and do the engineering, and because most of my cousins have done engineering and they are into engineering. So that happened, and so the challenge for me was to get admission in both the colleges, to get the admission in Nirma also and to get admission in CEPT University also, so that I can say that okay, मेरे को मिल रहा है Nirma में, but I don't want to go into Nirma. I am choosing that I want to go to CEPT University, and that struggle remained for entire first year also till the reshuffling round. My parents used to ask me, "Are you sure you want to continue in architecture?" Because they would hear a story about night outs and the story about how seniors are talking to us and how faculties are talking to us. So they would ping me like, "Okay, so do you want to continue in architecture or you want to go into engineering?" So yeah, it was always a shuffling game that happens in your mind.
So that time they used to conduct papers for CEPT University for taking admission in CEPT.
Yes, yes.
I heard that the exam will go on for a full day.
That was before our generation. So there used to be SATA, not so there used to be an exams which used to happen in SEPT hall itself. So that was very different kind of exam. But we had the same exam, NATA exam, that. But now NATA exam is not there. No, that's what I've heard.
Data is there, but no drawing.
Okay.
Drawing question again got made for you to discuss.
Okay.
But there are multiple exams, like one of my friends from my school is engineering, giving that answer. So I asked him to write and said, there are exams every weekend for 2 months. So there are 16 papers, and you can give any three attempts. Highest of the 4 weeks.
16 papers.
You have to give
Okay.
any 3 hours,
Okay.
and highest of the three attempts is considered as your final.
Okay. So drawing is a part of
Yes.
NATA.
We gave that exam without drawing because we were in the phase of
Okay, so
COVID.
if you are asking about that drawing, we do had a drawing exam that was taken. So questions would be like, if you are at railway station and
Suppose you
you
are an ant in a pizza box.
yeah, and if you are standing at the railway station, there is a luggage, and the luggage would be mentioned what all luggage is there, and that's your luggage, and you are standing and looking at the luggage which is lying on the floor. So you have to draw that. Another question that I remember was, you are sitting in a bus, and you are sitting in a bus right behind the driver's seat, and you have to draw like
The
what
whole
you
view.
wall view that you are looking at. So that questions were there. That drawing test happened, and then there was also one question regarding some logo changing, like
Yeah.
some logo design for,
SIM card
yeah.
or this.
So it would be known company and known kind of logo, but you have to reconstruct and reimagine the logo. So that was the part of exam. And after that, the part two was about aptitude test, which was online. So I remember I didn't have that much of a knowledge of architecture exam. I didn't prepare for that. So I just went with pencil color set, which is of Natraj. There used to be a company called Natraj, and nice small packet of pencil colors and one pencil with me. And I went to the exam hall, and I was so nervous because everybody sitting next to me were having tools and watercolors and so many other equipments to draw with. So I didn't understand at that time that okay, what's going on? Like, do I need so many drawing pencils to draw, or what is it? So yeah.
I can relate to that. And would you like tea or coffee?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
This is just one last question. Like, so there's this thing in architecture that impresses me that when you go into a temple, you have to fall
Bow
down
down.
because of the height difference.
Yes, yes.
So it is making you go in the front of a deity.
Yeah.
Is there anything which like mesmerize, quite make you that oh my god, this architecture makes you do this thing, like this intangible things?
Mm, when I visited Auroville, when I visited first time the what is it? Matri Bhavan, Matri Mandir. When I entered, there is nothing. There is two staircase going in a curvature like that, and I could just not move from that space. I could not take a step. It was so much powerful silence over there, the peace of that place, that I was just stubborn by like, okay, this is something different. Like that's what I remember from that
Architecture is making you.
yeah, yes,
So we
something.
went to RS Theatre.
Acha, Auroville. Okay. So you had measure drawing off?
No, we didn't have any vision.
Acha. So what was the RSP about?
We just visited the places and learn about the culture, about the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in blocks construction and
Then
then go around from
okay.
each apartment made one
Same.
CS.
Nice.
So we made arches
Okay.
from that
Yes,
piece.
nice. So do you still have measure drawing kind of a subject or
In BMC we have
okay.
building material and construction.
Okay. Because I remember interns coming to office and they would not know the how to use measure tape. So it becomes really embarrassing for me to teach them like how to use a measure tape. So I think that is something that I'm really worried about architecture. Like, because they don't have, they would have been a part of online courses, no? So I understand it's not their fault also, but it becomes very difficult to explain how to use a measuring tape. They don't know how to read measuring tape. They don't know what is feet, inches, inches के बाद का segment क्या है. They don't know.